What's up, everybody? Today we're at Fairholme Campground, and our goal here is to draw outside from up there. Hey, I'm Erik. You might know me from my regular drawing tutorials, but now I'm combining my two passions, drawing and going out on adventures. And I'm taking my sketchbook with me, getting out of my comfort zone as I learn to draw out in the elements. Join me as I step outside, explore new places, and draw what I discover along the way. This is Drawn to Adventure. I'm a complete newbie when it comes to drawing outdoors, but it's a skill I want to branch out and develop. So I'm here at Fairholme Campground in Washington State on the Olympic Peninsula inside the stunning Olympic National Park. It sits right on the edge of Lake Crescent, just 7 miles west of where our adventure will begin at the Mount Storm King trailhead. I'm planning 2 drawing sessions. First, we'll find a secluded spot to draw while we check out the Marymere Falls Trail. Then, we'll hike up the Mount Storm King Trail to draw from an absolutely breathtaking overlook and the perfect spot to end our adventure. The goal here is simple: to see where my sketching skills stand when I'm out in the elements, and to figure out what I need to work on for next time. All right, pulling into the Mount Storm King trailhead. Let's see how busy it is at 7:46 a.m. Not too bad, really. I was expecting it to have more cars. The Marymere Falls Trail is a short and easy 1.8-mile lollipop trail that walks through a towering old-growth forest, crosses over Barnes Creek and Falls Creek, then climbs to the highlight of the trail, the 90-foot Marymere Falls. Now, I was hoping to find a little spot up here to tuck away and draw, but it's much too small of an area. So I'm heading up Barnes Creek a little ways to find a spot less traveled. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on this little rapid section right here in front of me, and I'm going to start out with my HB pencil. So drawing out in nature, you got to be a little faster than if you were drawing at home. I'm just sort of working on my seeing ability more so than working on my drawing ability here. Instead of just having a photo and everything is already compressed down to a 2B space, it does so much of the work for you. Out here, I can start to train my eyes a little bit more, getting those shapes down, seeing the values. I really want to capture the energy of the water. See how these lines have little tails? You want the tail going in the direction of your water flow. Those little flicks in the tails on our lines. This is pretty much my first time really committing to drawing outside, so I'm learning along with you here. But I just want to keep positive attitude here as just trying to build these skills. You're out here, you're supposed to be having fun. Don't think too hard, don't get upset with yourself. A lot of black rock up in the front here. I don't want to get caught up in drawing individual rocks. I just want to draw that texture, you know? And to do that, I'm just kind of making little circles and scribbles. I don't want to fill it in entirely, because if I leave little variations where there are whiter spots or where I'm putting less pressure in, it's going to create the illusion of all the different sides of our rocks. Like, that's pretty quick, and I feel like that's some pretty good rock texture in there. I feel like nature is all about drawing texture and getting out here and working how to build that texture and doing it fast, doing it with sort of no expectations. You're going to learn a lot of skills when you go back home sitting at your drawing table that you can just apply. There you go, there's a quick drawing of Barnes Creek. Really happy with my river and my rocky shoreline here. Up here it gets pretty messy, but again, that's what it's all about, is just figuring things out. Take what you learn and apply to the next one. All right, everybody, we're working our way towards really the beginning of the Mount Storm King Trail. This is really the 3rd time I've tried this trail. First one got rained out entirely. Last year I got to the top it was just completely fogged in. So hopefully third time's a charm. All right, here we go. Up and up. It's 2.1 miles to the top of the Mount Storm King Trail, ending at a rocky outcropping overlooking Lake Crescent. During that relatively short distance, we gain about 2,100 feet in elevation. In other words, it's a steep beast of a trail. It's a real calf and quad burner, but it seems like it's steeper than last year. 1 3/4 miles up. A quick little mountain drawing lesson here. You can see you got this beautiful cloud framing up the top of our mountain range here. You get our defining lines of our ridge lines and then our valleys in between the ridge lines. Pretty spectacular. A 1/4 mile before the overlook marks the end of the maintained trail, so hikers traveling beyond this point are doing so at their own risk. This is the last little climb here. Boy, the timing on this is pretty amazing. The sun came out. Oh my God, this is phenomenal. It's just breathtaking. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but the sun came out. Not a lot of time for drawing. I need to make sure I get back down safely. So let's get to it. Just gonna be really loose with everything. There's my lake, roughly sketched in. A lot of these little indents in our lake, those kind of equate to a lot of our little ridge lines coming up. Just working on our shape building in our lines here. These kind of roll into each other here. Down here, these trees are close enough. They just pop up into Lake Crescent down there, creating a little silhouette. Tell you one thing I didn't think too much about is it's cold up here. It's hard to draw with cold hands. So that's something I have to remember for next time. I've got to make sure my hands are comfortable out in the elements. That's something I never have to think about while drawing at home in nice comfy conditions. This is just a HB pencil. I can see in the distance things get a little more hazy and up front. We got some darker values. You can see in the little valleys in between them also, they lighten up a little bit. And then the ridge line will get darker again. Got about 10 more minutes before I gotta go. I don't want to get caught on that trail in the dark. Another lesson for next time, I gotta get to my drawing spots earlier and allow plenty of time, not just for drawing, but also for returning to wherever I need to get safely. This is my 2B pencil. Not ideal, but I don't have a 2B regular pencil. I can't hold it as parallel to the paper and cover that wide area softly fast. I'm trying to carry as few pencils and tools as possible, but a 2B is probably one of my most used values. I gotta make sure I add a traditional 2B pencil to my drawing kit for next time. This front one up here, we're gonna go with the 5B. Working pretty fast here. The sun's going down and my hands are getting pretty cold. Look off in the distance on the right also, I think that's Canada over there. Get a little something back there for Canada. So I'll take all the lessons I've learned from this first outdoor drawing trip and apply them moving forward. And there you go, there's a 15-minute drawing of Lake Crescent. Third time really was a charm on this trail. I have the whole overlook to myself right now. There's nobody else up here. Couldn't ask for anything more than that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Drawn to Adventure.